Do you feel like nothing's manifesting? Do you feel like you're a failure? Do you have anxiety? Well, guess what? I've got one technique, 2 ways to do it that are going to be able to help you with this. So let's talk about that. Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today we are going to talk about a technique that you can use if you feel like your intentions aren't working and nothing's manifesting, basically when you're just all in all feeling like a failure. So before we dive into it, of course, as you know, if you do want any coaching, we do have some amazing coaches. Link is in the description below, as well as there is a Patreon group if you would like me to answer your questions. Yeah, the link is always in the description below. So definitely join the Patreon group. Come on over, ask your questions, and yeah. So let's dive straight into this. So when you're feeling like a failure, when you're feeling like nothing is manifesting, quite often what it is it's because actually what it is we're looking at lack. We're focusing on what's not working, and we're focusing on what's not working, and then we're making it mean that we're a failure, that we're not good enough. Because really, in honesty, right, when it comes to creating, everything in your reality is created by you. Okay, so how we create is basically we focus on something. We say red, and all of a sudden that red is brought into our reality. Okay, so if I say, oh, I want to see a red dog, okay, so now all of a sudden what's brought into my reality is red and dog. Okay, now dogs and red may come together, or it may come as a red something and then dog. Okay, so that's how our brains actually create. So when we say any words, an image is made in our subconscious mind, and then that is what's projected out into our reality. Okay, that's why, for instance, when say you're doing intentions about marrying somebody or having proposals, you'll see other people getting married, you'll see other people getting proposed to, because that's what you're focusing on. You're focusing on a marriage proposal. So you're going to see marriage proposals in your reality. Now, will you necessarily see it from your SP? Yes, of course you will, or no, you won't, because maybe you've got a story that blocks you from them, because thoughts are things. Okay, so that's how we create. Okay, so we can say, for instance, I want to see a red dog, but then I have the belief that, well, red dog, there's no such thing as a red dog. So all of a sudden that will block the red, and then I'll only see a dog. Okay, so but then I say, no, you know what, it's possible to see a red dog, and all of a sudden, boom, you know what comes to mind? Clifford the red dog, cartoon character. Get what I'm saying? Okay, so this is how creation works. Okay, so it's very important to understand this, that there is no failure and success. There's only what you focus on. Failure and success is meanings we give to things that show up in our reality. Okay, so when you're feeling like a failure, it's because you're giving your current reality that meaning. You're giving whatever in manifestations that are showing up in your reality, you're giving them that meaning that you're a failure. You're focusing on what's not working. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to always focus on what's working. So a really good way to do that, and I love this technique, and this technique can be done in one of 2 ways. Okay, so the technique is being happy and grateful. Okay, now I've got basically your quick shower technique or driving down the road technique, and then I have the I'm spiraling out of control and my anxiety is killing me technique. So there's 2 ways that you could do this technique. Okay, so we're going to go through the first way, which is the shower technique. Okay, so the shower technique is the quick technique. So what you do is you pick an area of your life. Okay, whether that be, I don't know, your job, or you're a specific person. Let's work on relationship maybe. Okay, so I'm going to work on my relationship with, you know who, Gerry. Okay, so my relationship with Gerry, we all know everyone is me pushed out. If you have any questions about everyone is me pushed out, either book some coaching and we can explain it, or go back into my videos, and there's lots of videos on explaining everyone is you pushed out. Or I'll do a future video on everyone is you pushed out. So, but I'm not going to get into everyone is you pushed out right now. What we're just doing is this technique. So this happy grateful technique, the shower technique, which is basically picking an area of your life and just starting on being happy and grateful. So let's say, for instance, you know, my relationship with Gerry is friends with benefits, and you know, I'm really wanting to be in a relationship with him and for him to call me more, but I just feel like I'm always the one chasing him. So I would start like this. I would be like, well, I'm so happy and grateful that, you know, Gerry always calls me. So I would basically just start rattling off all the things that I'm happy and grateful for. But I would usually start with that, going, well, you know, what I'm actually truly happy and grateful for. So I would say, well, I'm happy and grateful that I know Gerry. I'm happy and grateful, you know, that we do have some sort of relationship. You know, I'm happy and grateful that he finds me attractive. So I would start with things that I already sort of kind of have already in the relationship. Okay. And then once I get to that point where I'm starting to rattle off everything that I'm actually truly happy and grateful for right now, I'll start diving into things like, you know what, I'm so happy and grateful that he calls me all the time, even though he doesn't. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't say even though he doesn't. I would start working on the things that I want to create now by going, well, I'm so happy and grateful that he wants a relationship. And then I would start going down there. So the shower technique is basically starting on what you are actually happy and grateful for right now, truly, and then adding on things that you want to create that aren't showing up in your reality yet with the person, okay? The reason why I say do it that way for the shower technique is when you're actually truly creating and saying, I'm so happy and grateful for things that you are actually happy and grateful for, you get into that mode of being happy and grateful, and you're in that good headspace for when you start saying you're happy and grateful for things now that may necessarily not be showing up in your reality. So like, for instance, you know, I'm happy and grateful for Gerry making me a priority. Even though it's not showing up in your reality, you've added that now to the list, okay? So that's what the shower technique is, or driving technique, or doing the dishes technique. Now, the second technique for this is I'm spiraling out of control and things just aren't working for me. Okay. So when we feel like this, okay, really I do suggest grabbing a piece of paper and pen, because when you sit down and you focus yourself and your thoughts, you're going to get a lot quicker with this, a lot faster. Anytime I'm spiraling out of control, I pick up a piece of paper and pen, okay? So pick up a piece of paper and pen, and what you want to start doing is you want to dump out everything that's bothering you right now. Like seriously, everything, get it all, okay? So get it all out. Write down everything, all the things that are bothering you, all the things that are making you feel like nothing's working, all the things that you don't like in that particular area, okay? Write them all down, okay? And then one by one, cross them out and say, I am so happy and grateful that, and then change it into what you want, okay? So do that for that entire list, okay? And then start adding in there all the things that you are actually happy and grateful for with, you know, that's already happening in your relationship, and then read that list through, okay, at least a few times that day, okay, to kind of pull yourself out of it. Every time you say, I'm so happy and grateful for, let's say, Gerry making me a priority, okay, right there, you're creating happy, okay, because you said that word, you said, I am so happy and grateful. You're now, I am happy, you're calling that into you. It's going to make you happy. And then grateful, it's automatically going to make you feel grateful, okay? And then Gerry making you a priority, now you've just created that as well. You've pictured Gerry making you a priority, so now you're actually creating that as well. Okay, so that's actually going to shift your mood just like that, okay? You can even say, I am successful at manifesting this relationship. I always see my intentions manifest, okay? So, you know, there's other things that you can do actually to pull in how you feel. You can say, I'm satisfied, I'm cool, I'm calm, I feel good. You know, so even if you're dealing with anxiety, you can write down and say, no, you know what, I have everything under control. You know, I feel like good things are going to happen, because what's the opposite of anxiety? Anxiety is feeling like everything's falling apart and nothing's going your way. So let's say the opposite. I intend to feel like everything's going my way. I am successful. I am going to get what I want. You know, so I am seeing my intentions manifest right before my eyes, right? So basically what we want to do, right, is we want to take a look. I mean, again, I can't stress enough, guys, there is no such thing as failure, right? It's success and failure are only labels that you put on things that you have created. Look at, even right now, okay, if nothing is going your way in your life, it is actually, unfortunately, already a manifestation of your thoughts. You actually manifested it, okay? So the worst thing that we can do is to label it as a failure and say that we're a failure, okay? We just need to take it and go, you know what? I've created this, so guess what? I can change it, okay? So we want to always take a look at things in our life and say, look, I'm so happy and grateful that showed up, okay? Turn it into a bridge of incidences by using the law of assumption, going, okay, you know what, fine, okay, I may not like it, but this had to happen for me to get what I want. That's fine, okay? Now I'm going to get what I want, okay? Always lead it into that, okay? Always have that attitude when one door closes, another door opens. Always have that attitude that you're a success, okay? Because really, honestly, you know what? It's so funny. You guys ever hear this, right? So some people are like, oh, well, I'm only a success if I'm a billionaire. And then there's other people that are like, no, I'm successful as long as I'm loved. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a matter of opinion of what's success and what's failure. So start deeming everything in your life as a success. Start creating that you are successful, and then you will actually become successful through the law of assumption. There's just no choice. But if you're going to focus on how you're a failure and look at lack, guess what? You're living from the end of being a failure. You're living in the end of lack, and you're only going to get more of it, and it's only going to happen, and it's only going to add. Okay. So you always want to look at everything as a success, and that you're a success, and always maintain that story no matter what happens in your life, right? You know, it's really just about seeing what shows up. And you know what, you don't even have to label it as success or failure. Just at the very basis of it, your thought created that, it showed up, that's it. Does it mean you're a failure? No. Does it mean you're successful? No, it actually doesn't mean anything. But if you are going to give something a meaning, then give it a meaning towards what you want, which would be being successful. Okay, guys? Yeah, so that's my video for today. Guys, yeah, 2 different techniques. I'm going to recap them really quickly here. So there is the happy and grateful shower technique. When you feel like nothing's working, start rattling off everything that you're happy and grateful for that you actually have, and then start adding things that you're happy and grateful for that aren't quite showing up in your reality yet, and they'll start to show up. Or if you're spiraling out of control and you really need to get a hold of your thoughts, write down, dump out everything that's not working, all your feelings, everything like that, and then write them into happy and grateful statements, and then add what you actually are happy and grateful for in that area, and then read them out 2 or 3 times that day just to get yourself picked up. And you'll notice, you know, you'll read them through, and then you might go for a walk and you'll actually feel better. Anyways, guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.